Hello my darlings and welcome to a new reading vlog. So last time you heard me mention that I have a thrift haul. Yes I do, and I'm going to show you, but first let's do the library haul. This is a story about your mother by Louise Wallace. I will be reading this in a Weird Ones. The Bell Witches by Lindsay Kelk is a fantasy about a woman who has to go live with her aunt and grandmother in the heart of Savannah, Georgia. But the Bell family are hiding a secret. We have Emma Healy Sweat. I have no idea what this is. It's just brand new. She holds the power now. It's Liam's turn to sweat. So I don't know, this might not be for me, but I just grabbed it anyway. We've got Sex Magic, Diagrams of Love by Ithel Colquhoun. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. This is going to be read in an upcoming Venus reading blog, but you might see that blog before you see this one. Dream Girl by Jo Holly. So I requested this. It's supposed to be a comic and gothic collection of short stories about women navigating desire in all of its manifestations. It just sounded really cool, so I thought I'd grab it. Get them to get it, I mean. Oh, big boy here. We've got This Creative Life by Robin Lee, Fashion Designers at Home. So this is about, oh my God. Oh, I know I'm going to love this. This is a fashion design. Oh my God. What a room. Holy shit. Can you imagine having that mural on your wall? Oh, to be wealthy. Oh my God. I'm literally having orgasms just looking. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, so much beauty. Then we have Order of Swans by Jude Deveraux. This is a fantasy novel in which a woman is swept into a world where she has the power to alter fairy tales and change a kingdom's destiny. So I think a PhD student who's an expert in folklore ends up going into a fairy tale world. A la Emily Wilde, sounds like. So we've got Middle Youth by Morgan Bach. So this is a collection of poems. We have Tokyo These Days by Taiyo Matsumoto. So this is a manga. I'm just going to give it a go. Like I said, I don't like a lot of manga, but I've heard about this series, so I wanted to try it. The Symphonic Cycle by Una Cruikshank. Once again, oh my God, look at this cover though. Beautiful. I got my library to buy this as well for an upcoming Weird Ones vlog. So I find that my library will buy books if they're by Australian or New Zealand publishers. Otherwise, I don't like to get the weirder stuff. So I looked for more native indie publishers to get them to purchase it, because otherwise, yeah, I buy almost all of the books for every Weird Ones vlog, and that gets expensive because indie books are expensive. So I might try and check out some others. If you are an Aussie or Kiwi and you know of other independent presses or small presses from Australia or New Zealand that have great books, do let me know so I can get my library to purchase them. Oh, and then for Indy, we've got this Happy Mother's Day from the Crayons. She loves the crayons. Okay, so those are the library books done. I'm going to show you the best bargain I got. Oh my God, this is a cast iron. I don't think it's Le Creuset, but like in excellent condition, seriously, for $10. $10. When I grabbed it, this guy behind me, who obviously had made a beeline for it, was like, "That you just got a great bargain." And I'm like, yeah, $10 for a cast iron dish. I then got something for Indy, which I know she's gonna love. Guys, it's a kitty cat piggy bank for $4. Like, are you kidding? Oh, and luckily it's got the thing underneath so you can get the coins out, but love it. I got a pair of leather shearling brown boots for $25 in really excellent condition. I got this, oh, it's so long. I got this super cute crocheted backless white split dress for $9. $9. I then got this ceramic bowl for $2, or it's clay. I think it's clay with glazing. $2. And I got a book. So this is My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies by Frederick Buckman, because I'm trying to read all of Buckman's backlist, and this was $4 and it's in almost perfect condition. $4. I am going to drive to the rich people suburbs and go through their charity stores, because yeah, I think you find absolute treasures for nothing. But when you go to the more trendy suburbs like Collingwood, Fitzroy, Brunswick, Northcote, etc., where I guess you call yuppies are, the thrifting stores there, which is where I was going, so expensive. And yes, you do find high-end designers, but you're still paying hundreds of dollars, you know, for a Tom Ford or whatever. Whereas I feel like if someone has just dumped their stuff in a local bin, like a charity, Salvos, Vinnie's, you know, all of those organizations, the people at the stores, unless they're aware of how much it costs in real life, they're just going to price it for peanuts. So, and I feel like really rich people, yeah, just dump their stuff in the bins because it's quicker and faster for them, and they don't care. They're not going to go to a consignment store and be like, here are my things, how, you know, give me 50% of the value for them. So yeah, I'm going there from now on. I'm going to see what I can get. So I'll do a whole day of that, and I'll probably do it on my other channel. I'm not going to subject you guys to my thrifting when this is a book channel. But yeah, so I'm excited to do that. But let's do two things to decide two books for this reading vlog. Obviously, I'm still going to read Tia because I did want to get onto that. But I'm going to do the tarot and the jar pull. Guys, I wasn't taping. I thought I was taping. I was not taping. You missed some cat shenanigans, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm going to just have to do it again. I picked the Beetlejuice tarot, and the card I got was the High Priestess, and the prompt for this one is read a mystery book. And I went on a whole spiel about how I don't like just standard mysteries. It has to be a mystery with another genre. So I'm going to tell you the options once again of the books that I might read. So we've got The Last Hour Between Worlds by Melissa Caruso. And this is about a new mum who's single, and she has to unravel the secret of the clock and save her city. So this is a reality bending magic mystery novel. So that's one of the options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read snippets of all of these books and then decide which mystery I'm going with. I really wish that Goodreads would filter by genre. That would save me so much time, but I've already gone through. I've just got to find the other ones that I mentioned. So yes, we've got a fantasy mystery. Another option was The Book of Speculation by Erica Swyler. And this was another fantasy historical mystery about a librarian and a book from the 1700s. That one also includes magic. Then we had a horror thriller mystery called Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates, which is about a remote cabin in the wilderness and 8 strangers. Bluebell. And the other option was Jacoby by William Ritter, which is a historical mystery that is very reminiscent of Doctor Who meeting Sherlock Holmes. Sorry about the shoe that's in the background. So those were the options for the mystery book I'll be trying out. I'm just going to pull out of here again so it can be fresh and you can see my reaction, because yeah, that's a bit of a cop-out that you missed that. So let's, okay, we got a different one this time than what I pulled out last time. So you can read it first. Let me see what I got. The Universe in Verse by Maria Popova, and I saw this on Starlit Library. Oh my God, I've got mud and dirt underneath my fingernails, because I was doing some gardening. I repotted some things. That's my bad, sorry guys. Ugh. Book of Poetry about the Universe, excellent. A mystery novel, To Be Determined. I'm going to continue on with Tia, which I was supposed to read for my last one. And let me think. I've also got Good Material by Dolly Alderton, which I need to get onto because someone has reserved that. I am 100% reading This Creative Life as well, so that will definitely be in this reading vlog. What else I pick, you'll have to wait and see. But that's everything for today. I'll see you once I've read something. Good morning, guys. So last night I did start reading Tear. It's Tear by Erica McKean. And the beginning, you start off with personified houses and a scared little girl in red shoes. It became very apparent very quickly that the writing style just wasn't for me. It is quite fever dreamy, and I just could tell I wasn't vibing with it. And with fever dream type books, you have to like the writing style. Well, I have to like the writing style. You do what you want. Obviously what works for you, but yes, with books like that, where the grip on reality is uncertain, I need to be snared by the writing, and in this case I wasn't. I was just confused, and it was slow. So this is just a case of it's not the right book for me, so I have DNF'd that one. I did then want to just pick up and read something in bed before going to sleep. I wanted to accomplish something that night, so I picked up Pretty Mary's All in a Row by Gwendolyn Kist. So this is a little novella where all of the urban legend Marys unite for the evenings and only feed upon your fright. So think Bloody Mary, Miss Mary Mac, Mary Mary Quite Contrary, all the Marys. They are just ghost girlies patrolling the streets looking for folks to terrorize. Now, there is another sort of subplot in this, in that the Marys don't really remember who they were before they became the Marys. Every morning they must return to this creepy manor house. They are terrorized by some kind of shadow baddie, and one of the Marys, the main Mary, or otherwise known as Ree, because she is Resurrection Mary. Resurrection Mary has a bit of a romance going on, a forbidden romance, star-crossed lovers, with a real deadbeat dad and husband named David. So David, ever since he was young and Resurrection Mary bombed a ride in his car to scare him, has fallen in love with her and drives this stretch of highway every night for the chance to have his ass haunted by her. He has since gotten married and had a child, and he's still doing this. Like, I get, yeah, he's simping for Mary, but just like me, man. Ugh. Like, who was rooting for this romance? Not only that, he starts bringing his daughter along for the rides. And I'm like, this dude's wife needs to leave his ass and take full custody. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know why that needed to be in there. This had a cool idea. It's just the execution of the plot was as insubstantial as the spectral sisters themselves. It just didn't come together well. The way the plot progressed was, I don't know, it had potential. I'm just going to say it had potential. I just didn't enjoy the finished result. So I thought this was just okay, but read it if you like yellowed photographs, bloody mirrors, and collecting matchbooks. Now, next up, I am going to read Made for Love by Alyssa Nutting, and this is about a woman who has to return home, and she finds out her dad's gotten himself a sex doll who he is treating as a legitimate wife. So it sounds like it's going to be really weird. Maybe akin to that Ryan Gosling movie, we'll see, but I'm interested in starting that. In regards to the mystery book I'm picking up, I did end up starting and deciding against the Book of Speculation and The Last Hour Between Worlds, or whatever it was called. So I've decided against those. I've read one chapter of Jacoby, which is like the Sherlock Holmesy Doctor Who type one, and that was okay. But unfortunately, Dead Winter, the library, only has a physical copy, so I do need to go and get that in today, and then I'll decide between that and Jacoby. Although I wouldn't mind a horror, but we'll see whichever one pulls me in more. I will probably also read that interior design book that I was frothing over. So those are the next reads, and I'll let you know how I go once I've read them. I am wearing Queening by Mind Games today, which I saw on Melissa's channel, and to me, okay, it smells like teenage Chanel sitting on her bedroom floor, lathered in the coconut body butter from the Body Shop, doing makeup looks whilst a vanilla candle is burning and Britney Spears is on the radio. That is the vibe for me. It has a real teenage innocence to it. It is nice, but it is just much too young and soft and sweet for me. Yeah, I'll pass this on to my 13-year-old. I think it's more suited to her. So I did try that perfume today. And yesterday I also did try Moschino's Toy 2. And this one smelled like I was having a bubble bath whilst sipping on a chilled apple juice and eating those musk stick lollies with the smell of fabric softener in the background. So that one also was not for me. That was just a freebie thrown in when I ordered some samples. So far, no hits, although the one I've liked the most from my perfume trials would be the Dark Rum by Melon and Goetz. So we'll see what else we've got to find. But yeah, that one was too fruity for me. Today is my doctor day. Yeah, I think I'm going to be okay. So all I need is a few normal blood tests where nothing goes wrong and I'm not injured for me to override the previous traumatic experience. And I've healed. Like, there's no permanent scarring from what happened to me. So that's today. I can't eat until I go, and I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. We've also got my daughter's parent-teacher interviews for a couple of hours at the school. So we've got that on. It's her half birthday. So we celebrate half birthdays. We sing a very, very half birthday to you, yes, you situation. And we just get a cake and they get to pick what they have for dinner. But tonight we're going to my mum's for dinner. So she's hosting. And so I've just got to go and buy a cake for us to eat and celebrate with. And then I think that's all. I think that is all that's on the agenda for today.
He said a health condition.
Hello. Hello. Hey guys, so yesterday after the parent-teacher interviews and dinner at my mum's house, I crashed hard. So I read a lot because that's all I could do. And this morning I've woken up, I feel very inflamed and yuck. And both my kids also woke up today saying they don't feel well, so pray for us. I think we're just run down, and I think it's the changing erratic weather is taking it out of us. So let me tell you about what I read. So I did read Made for Love by Alyssa Nutting. I don't think this cover is an accurate representation of the book. I'm going to put the other cover up here. In this book you have Luddite Hazel, who married a tech billionaire, and she wants to log off completely from their relationship when one day he proposes a mind meld with her. What is that, you say? It is putting neural implants into both their heads and syncing them up. So it takes peeing with the door open to a whole other level, in that you will never be alone, and not in a comforting way. So naturally she's like, yeah, hard pass, bro, but does worry that it will be forcibly done to her. So she flees with whatever is on her body. She leaves everything behind and runs back to her dad's house. It turns out Daddy was a little lonely and got himself a sex doll companion that he treats as if they were real. So Hazel, and he's pretty upset because Hazel is crushing their honeymoon, guys, and he wants to bang loudly without any interruptions. He says Hazel can stay, but she's got to at least that night go elsewhere. So Hazel goes to the local bar, meets a really skeezy, dirty guy, and decides, you know what, maybe my ex-husband, billionaire, tech, clean, android, reptile man freak won't want me back if I've got like an STD or something. So she raw dogs it with Dirty Dude, and then goes back home to Daddy's house. But it turns out, actually no, I can't say anything. Let's just say Tech Bro has eyes everywhere. Along with this storyline, you've got a man who ends up rewiring his brain accidentally into only desiring dolphins. And that's a bit of an issue for him, obviously. He can't really, get dolphin companions. So he heads to Gogol, which is Hazel's husband's company, and asks to have his brain rejigged to no longer desire dolphins. Instead, what they do is they make it so that when he is copulating with women, inside here is with dolphins. So this book is absurd and wacky. You could say that it's mostly about love, technology, and human desire, but it's just weird as shit. It is an odd and strange book that I found hard to make sense of. I don't know if I liked it. I've come to the conclusion it was okay. It didn't, I don't know, it just straddled this line of bizarro without going hard enough for me, but at the same time it's not subtle, but it just sort of ended up in no man's land, plot wise and enjoyment wise. It was something. I don't know, guys. I'm a bit flummoxed in how to talk about it. I would say read it if you like mind melding, pink lawn flamingos, and sex dolls. I don't know. I don't know who to recommend this for. But I did read it, and yes, I'll be moving on. So the next book that I picked up was Darcy Coates' Dead of Winter. So this was one of the options for the mystery book. This is more thriller than mystery. I didn't put it down. It floored it from the first page to the end page. You were just on a bullet train with no stops. It was intense. So it's one of those unputdownable books. The body count is very high. The premise of the story is you have a young woman who is going with her very sweet, perfect boyfriend on a mountain lodge trip. On the way to the mountain lodge, the bus has to stop with the rest of the tour because there's a tree on the road. So while they're clearing the tree, her fiance says, hey, I used to live around here. Let me show you my favorite place. And she thinks, oh, maybe he's going to propose, because that's the vibe that she's getting. And so he takes her into the woods, but a snowstorm hits. They get separated. She's injured. The tour guide people end up finding her, and she wakes up in this abandoned cabin with them. They were unable to get to the mountain lodge as well, so they're all holed up in this seemingly abandoned cabin. But the next day, their tour guide winds up beheaded. And this continues. So they're all just trying to figure out which one of them is picking each other off and how to get help, because obviously no cell phone service, and the snowed in weather makes it almost impossible to try walking anywhere else. And at least at the cabin there is food and shelter. So I have decided this was good, and I can tell that this is probably a really good thriller, but it has solidified the fact that I'm not a thriller person. I just don't want to read about humans killing other humans in contemporary setups. You know, it's just doesn't matter what their motivation is and who the killer ends up being. I just find it silly and I don't get anything out of it. Like, and when this was all going on, they kept going off by themselves, and it's just like, obviously it has to happen so they can get killed off, but like, why are you doing it? All stay in the room, don't leave. Or if you decide to go on foot, all go, you know, like, anyway. So I'm not a thriller person, and so I will not be reading regular thrillers from this point forward. I'm just not going to. Yeah, like, I can tell this was, as I said, this is probably fantastic, and I did really kind of enjoy it. I guess the frenetic fast pace of it and slasher stuff and whatever does not appeal to me. I just don't care and don't love it. So I'm going to stick maybe to paranormal thrillers only going forward. But this was a nice send-off to my foray into thrillers. But yes, I'm just I'm not into them. They're not my kind of books. But read this. Well, one, if you like thrillers, but snowy, secluded cabins, tour groups, and headless corpses. There are lots of them in this one. I did mention that I would mention a picture book if it was good, and this was good. So this was Cookie Time by Jessica Simmer, and just the illustration style in this book is so gorge. It was just a delight to flip through. It's about some kids, and they're with their grandpa, and their grandpa likes to bake cookies, and they just don't want to wait. So they build a time machine so they can skip to when the cookies are ready. And naturally, they've got to fine tune their exit points, because yeah, a lot of the time they have to go back and try again. But very cute story with a cute message about patience, about moments, and how sometimes the in between is meaningful too. It was just, yeah, it was lovely and beautiful illustrations. So I would recommend that picture book if you read picture books. I also picked up Universe in Verse by Maria Popova, which was from the Jar Pull, thanks to, I think it was Starlit Library. And this is a 5-star. This is a 5-star read for me. So this is a collection of mini essays that are about something science related, and they're followed up by a poem that resonates with the previous essay topic. So she's marrying science and poetry together. The poems are from a range of different poets, and they range from modern to classical. I thought they were all fantastic. All of the poems were beautiful and well chosen in regards to how they correlated with the subject matter. Overall, the book is just filled with curiosity, awe, and beauty. There were also gorgeous illustrations between the sections. And I don't know, it was just about, I guess, how in the vastness of the universe, there is always wondrous interconnection. And this book beautifully bridges the cosmic and the mortal, as well as the right and left hemisphere. It's just a glorious marriage of science and art. I'm going to go and get my e-reader. I'm going to read one of the sections to you. Okay, so this is titled Mushrooms and the Creative Spirit. And so they're talking about fungi, and they're talking about Sylvia Plath when she spent a summer in 1959 in Saratoga Springs, New York. She was pregnant with her first child and 27, and she was going through depression. And she just felt outcast on a cold star, unable to feel anything but an awful, helpless numbness. And then one day she stumbled across some mushrooms, and they sparked something in her. And she felt like they were a sign that every day is a renewed prayer, that the God exists and that he will visit with increased force and clarity. And from this experience with the shrooms, she wrote this poem. Before the poem though, like the author of this book wrote, "It is both a hope and a heartache to consider that today, mushroom species from the psilocybe are being used in clinical trials to effectively allay treatment-resistant depression, a breakthrough she never lived to see that might have saved her life." And that gut punched me, because I know that I am still here today, thanks to psilocybin mushrooms. If it wasn't for them, I might have been successful in my wish to exit this world. So yeah, that one hit me. Anyway, let's continue on. So this is the poem that Sylvia wrote. Overnight, very whitely, discreetly, very quietly, our toes, our noses take hold on the loam, acquire the air. Nobody sees us, stops us, betrays us. The small grains make room. Soft fists insist on heaving the needles, the leafy bedding, even the paving, our hammers, our rams, earless and eyeless, perfectly voiceless. Widen the crannies, shoulder through holes, we diet on water, on crumbs of shadow, bland-mannered, asking little or nothing. So many of us, so many of us. We are shelves, we are tables, we are meek, we are edible. Nudgers and shovers, in spite of ourselves, our kind multiplies. We shall by morning inherit the earth, our foot's in the door. As I said, I loved this collection. I thought it was really well done, and I am going to hopefully add it to my 5-star bookshelf. I would say read it. If you like stardust, pretty words, and a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. I learnt so many things, and I loved some of the correlations between the poems and the story. There was one, I think, about the Hubble telescope and how there was a father, I think he was a Black American man, on the team, and at first their attempt to photograph the universe wasn't successful, and his daughter wrote a poem about it, which ended up making her a Nobel Poet Laureate. I think that's the term. And then they were successful their next try around. But just, like I said, all of the essays and the corresponding poems, very well done. So I'm excited too to see it in colour, because this was an ebook read for me, so I'd love to see the illustrations in colour. But yeah, a 5-star read for this month. I am going to do one more for this vlog, because I would love to finish it off today. And so I am going to read This Creative Life by Robin Lee, which is a book of interior design by fashion designers. So I'm very, very excited to look through this and show you my favorite designs. Hopefully, like I said, I get that done today. I'm not going out. I was supposed to do all these things and all plans have been cancelled. So I will see you when I have read this book and after I have had my mum's tiramisu for breakfast, because I was too unwell to eat it yesterday. So she tore off a chunk, slapped it in a bowl, and I'm going to eat it for breakfast. I also forgot to mention I am wearing A and Other 13 by Le Labo. It smells very cologne-y. There is the freesia and the musk and this crisp cleanness that kind of also reminds me of white crocheted tablecloths, with the plastic laminate on top. Yeah, no, it's coming off much too masculine for me. I'll see how it wears down, but I think this one is, yeah, we're not a match.
Tiramisu.
And matcha for breakfast. Okay, my darlings, I have returned. I'm in here because the kids are awake. They're having their lunch. Okay, I have finished This Creative Life by Robin Lee. I will say that my favorite house overall was Ludomir Pucci's house. I just thought that the interplay between modern and classic and the colors were exquisite. It was, oh my god, just an absolute feast for the eyes. So I'd say yes. Her house was my favorite house. Man, sometimes honestly, the fact that these people get to call these spaces home, how fortunate, how wonderful. I would say that the biographies of the designers were well done. Some of these designers were born into wealth and privilege, but some of them did have a rags to riches story. But yeah, they're all fortunate to be able to spend time in such beautiful homes. Like this couple's place in Tuscany. Absolute goddamn dream. Oh my god, to wake up every day with this vista. You know, I'm living vicariously through a book, clearly. But you know, you never know. I might strike it rich one day and be able to have a picture book home. But yeah, this is for everybody who loves reading mini bios about creative people or are really into style and design. I thought it was really well formatted and we get a really interesting collection of designers and their abodes. But I did enjoy reading it, so I'm going to quickly recap all of the books that I read for this reading vlog. And this was that dress that I thrifted for $9. So I really like it. It's a little bit see-through. So it's going to be a house dress, but that is fine by me. We have Pretty Marys All in a Row by Gwendolyn Kist. And this wins the award for having many Marys. Made for Love by Alyssa Nutting. And this wins the award for ruining my innocent love of dolphins. I will take my glasses off because I know that they are reflecting the light. Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. And this wins the award for making you second guess any free trip you might be offered. This Creative Life by Robin Lee. And this wins the award for interesting design combinations. And my favorite read and a 5-star read of this reading vlog, Bluebell, was Universe Inverse by Maria Popova. And this wins the award. And this wins the award for making science poetic. Those were all of the books that I read for this mood reading vlog. Until next time, stay wild, star child.